Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. It is 7:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this 15th day of March 2021. Taking a look at the pound pairs here and kind of continuing what we've been looking at here over the last few weeks. Looking at the three-line break chart, the pound dollar. First, let's take a look at the Ichimoku chart on the hourly. What we're looking for here is to see an uptick in sell pressure with the rise of the ADX, which means that there is sustained selling pressure going on. Currently, the condition that we're really waiting for, and actually let me make the lagging span or the Chico span a little thicker here. We want to see this guy, the lagging span, below the candlesticks. And so around, let's see, it's 7, 8, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we would like to see this down at 139.12. Below that, price breaks down below the cloud, lagging spans below the price action. That is the ideal setup we are looking for a short. So right there, that's 139.12. How does that relate to the line break chart? On the line break, we are already in a great position for the short side of the market. We are looking for a continuation move south here. The entry would be if we return back down to the low here at 138.85. There's a couple ways to look at it. There's a pretty sizable gap between the high volume node at 138.37 and then 137.55. So there's a good drop that would more than likely occur. Probably bring us down to the visual point of control here at 36.73. So I'll have to see. You can see here, though, on the line break chart that the sell pressure is showing very high, and that is, leading us towards seeing some more sell pressure. Let's take a look at the pound yen. Pound yen on the not 3 bucks, not point figure, line break, the 3-line break chart. So here's where we're currently at. We have moved all the way back up to 158.81. We have not closed. In order for us to create a new green line, we would need to close above the high that was on Friday, which would be 152.08. We are seeing selling pressure pick up. You can see on the ADX, the ADX and the directional index. You can see the selling pressure crossing above the buying pressure. The really key zone here, I think, if you want to look for the short, at least from this perspective, is below the point of control at 150.89. That's what we would be looking at there. Again, I just want to point out, looking at this on the regular candlestick chart, that we just completed something that has never occurred before on the pound yen, and that is a pretty staggering amount of weeks. But starting from the second week of January, that is, I want to make sure that they're counting this right. Yeah, 9 consecutive weeks higher. 9 consecutive weeks of weekly highs greater than their close. We've had green or white candlesticks every week for the last 9 weeks. That's pretty staggering. If you look at the ADX, which is clearly showing a trending market higher, but look what's happening with the buy volume. It's flattening out. The buying, or not the buy volume, but the buying pressure has flattened out while prices have gone up. And now we're seeing the selling pressure flatline. That is a warning sign that we could see prices changing direction here. Okay. On the daily Ichimoku chart, we see things are flattening out up here. Volume is continuing to trend lower, but tapering off, but we're seeing buying pressure definitely slow down here. Taking a look at the hourly Ichimoku, On the pound yen, similar situations. What we saw on the pound dollar, we need to see the lagging span drop below price, and really need to see price drop below the cloud. 150, 150. I think that's the zone that you're going to see that occur. And then there's a pretty steep 50 pip drop between there and the point of control right here on this visual range. If we scroll out, the point of this is going back to January 20th. The point of control from January 20th to where we are now, so roughly a 30-day period, a 25-day period. Well, that's closer to 30 than 25. February's a shorter month. We have 144.72. So there is a huge drop about to occur. And having it come down, I mean, if we just want to look at the 50% retracement, actually, not even that. Let's just look at the 382 if we're going to do that. So from these highs, let's just go to the first week of January, the low of January. Was that the low of January? Yeah, it was. I mean, the 382 is down at 147.20. 147.20. So that's 400 and we'll just say 450 pips lower before we would see a really sizable bounce. So that's on the pound yen. Then the pound Swiss. The pound Swiss is the first one out of the pound yen, and the pound Swiss is the first one we're kind of seeing things show weakness. Just like the pound yen, there have been 9 consecutive weeks higher for the pound Swiss. Now let's look at the line break chart on the hourly, and we can see something interesting here. So I have drawn these trend lines. We have this rising wedge, and then we saw it break out of the wedge, kind of move to retest, and we start to see this kind of slowdown. So then we had the breakdown lower, and then we have the retest. So the top of this line break chart right now is at 129.70. But where price is currently trading is lower than that. It's at 129.19, which is right down here. If we get price to cross down below 129.04 and we get a close, that's a bull trap pattern on the line break chart. Basically, what we get here is a bunch of buyers stepping in, think it's going to keep going higher. It's retesting the break of this trend line. We get the inverse sell line to print on the chart, and then that ultimately is going to push us all the way down to 127.91, and more than likely it will travel lower. Let me get to January here. Volume point of control for the year from January to where we are now is at 121.48. That is, we'll just say 800 pips lower. I don't think I don't think it would go down there, but just looking at the fib retracements here from this confirmation swing, 382 is at 127.05. So it's about 200 pips below where we're currently at. And that wouldn't be such a bad place to look for an initial profit target. On the daily, going back to the daily candlestick chart, yeah, things are definitely rounding off here. Buying pressure's dropping off. Selling pressure, looks like selling pressure is still dropping, but we should see a change in that occur by the end of the day here. Just looking kind of weak overall, so just watch out for that. But otherwise, yeah, the sell stop here, actually this would be, you raise that sell stop to around there. Okay. But anyways, that does it for me, and that does it for the pound pairs. Y'all have a good start to your week. Have a happy Monday. From all of us here at Exchange at GKTV, please don't forget to like and subscribe.